Hello, Peak Millennial listeners.
Hello.
Hello, wonderful listeners. We appreciate you. We
We
love
love
you.
you.
We
We
cherish
do.
you.
We will have sex with all of you. Well,
All right, all right. Yeah, you know what? Let's do it.
yeah.
Let's do it. Let's make a commitment for 2019. We're gonna have sex with all of our listeners
Yeah,
at
that's
once,
my
or
plan. That was my New Year's resolution.
to bang every one of our listeners, all three of them.
Yeah. Yeah, all three of you.
Oh, three of them. All right. Well, we'll talk about the specifics of that in another podcast. But right
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
hello and welcome back to Peak Millennial.
Hello. Yes. How have you been, Gio?
I've been alright, pal. I had my romantic Valentine's day out
Oh,
at the
what did you do?
dentist. I went
Oh,
to the
yeah.
I went to the fucking dentist.
Is it your dentist? No, it's your eye doctor that's hot. Never mind. I'm getting confused.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
I was going to say, did you romance her? But if your dentist isn't hot, then.
well, I mean, the dentist is also a very intimate place, but
Yes,
in
that's
a very
true.
different way.
In a
Uh,
very unsexy way, I think.
yeah,
Whereas,
exactly.
the opticians, they're looking into your eyes.
Yeah, I know.
It
It's
can
very
be
romantic.
that is how Monica and Richard started dating in Friends. So,
Ah,
lest we forget.
they're staring into your eyes, and you're thinking, you like what you see? Are these good eyes? Are these.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mm.
I mean, in your case, they're shit eyes because you got
Well,
they
only
can't
one of
figure out
them.
what's
One of
wrong
them
with
is
it.
shit. Well, both of them is shit. One of them is just like super shit.
Right. Yeah. Eh.
Apart from that, what Christ have I been doing? Whole lot of nada. I had ate a very spicy burrito yesterday. Does that count as doing something? As a highlight of my weekend, a spicy burrito?
Hmm.
No, doesn't count. All right.
No. Yeah. It does sound good though. I saw the photo on
Um,
Snapchat. It looked good.
they're very filling burritos.
They are. It's just because it's a lot of rice, really.
Yeah, you don't realize until it's all in
Mm,
there. It's
I
all in
agree.
there now.
Because it looks very compact, but actually it's a lot of food.
Yeah, it was supposed the salsa was supposed to be like shit your brains out of your eyes, spicy.
Hmm.
But I think I I've been watching a lot of hot ones on YouTube. Do you like watching hot ones?
Yeah, I like that. I watched Shawn Mendes one.
So I get really into putting like chili flakes in my food now. I'm just like, yeah, yeah, fuck me up. So I
Mm,
think I've been unawaringly, like
mm.
prepping my taste buds. So it kind of like it fuzzed me out a bit, but I was like, I can tank this.
Yeah.
I'm a man. I can tank
You're a
this,
real
man. I'm a
man.
real man. YouTube is really weird now. I got recommended like a Heat interview by all the old Love Island girls, and I was like, what the fuck? How is this still going? How are people still watching this shit? So I clicked it, and I was like, let's see what is the lure? What is the content here? Because I do a very good podcast called Peak Millennial every
Yeah,
two
yeah.
weeks, and somehow this drivel is getting views. And I was
Mhm.
watching Megan, the girl, and
Yeah.
she was talking about Nando's, and she was about like if you don't order spicy, then you're not a man. I was like,
Oh
it's a
God.
very strange. I don't know. It's a very strange thing. I was like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care what she likes, but it's just a very strange thing to say.
This is gonna sound bad, but
Oh Jesus!
I find it very funny when the Love Island girls try and talk about anything political because I'm just like,
I find it funny when they try and talk about anything.
who is going to take you seriously? Yeah, because it's like, she was talking about people judging her because of her job and all that kind of stuff. And although she was making very valid points, I was like,
No
you've
one's.
been on Love Island. No one is going to listen to you. I'm sorry, but that is just true. Like, and maybe it's judgmental of me, maybe it's really sexist, I don't know, but I don't give a shit. If you're
uh,
on Love Island, I don't want to hear your opinion on politics.
yeah, you kind of. I don't
Even if I agree with you, and I did agree with her on a lot of points. I don't give a shit.
Anyway, how was your Valentine's holiday period? Fucking. Know what I
Yeah,
mean?
my Valentine's Day. Well, I worked at my new job,
Very
which is
romantic.
very exciting. Um,
Scrats,
and
scrats, scrats.
thank you, thank you. It's been very good. So I was working, and then I left, and it was actually the only night that week that I left at like a decent time and didn't have plans. So I was going to go to my
Oh.
dance class.
Oh yeah, you dance classes.
Yeah, but basically, like, got stuck in traffic on the way home.
Ah.
So I was really hungry as well, so I didn't have time to like do both. I didn't have time to eat and then go and get there in like a normal time.
Yeah,
I would have been
dance.
like 10-15 minutes late. So
Ah, I get
I
you.
didn't do dance, and instead I had an early night.
Oh no.
No, it was good. It was really good. I
Yeah.
had a great time.
All right. All right. What do
I
I
just
know?
like I was so relieved to be at home and like on my own and chilled out, you know, because I hadn't been for so long. So it was nice. I really liked it.
You took some me time.
Yeah, I actually like I'm for someone who is, you know, like supposed to be bitter and single, I'm in a pretty good place.
Good, man. That's good.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, none of that Valentine's. Did you see that Kanye got like Kenny G to perform for Kim Kardashian?
Yes. Oh my
Dude,
Christ.
that is that.
The most incredible thing I'd ever seen.
That
And
is the
also,
best thing.
that is the most romantic thing that anyone could do for you.
That is such a baller idea. If I was a rich, like, fuck everything kind of guy, that is absolutely what I would do. I'd get Kenny G just to come play for me.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. For you, that's like the ultimate power move. So,
Ah,
any future ladies, potential ladies listening for Geo right now,
get on that Kenny G.
get on that Kenny G. He loves it and he will love you forever.
Does he have some sexy daughters
Oh,
who can also play the saxophone? That's the true way to my heart is with the soprano sax.
I didn't know that. Wow.
That was my favorite elaborate Valentine's like moment that I'd seen. I was
Yeah.
like, he's such a strange thing. I wouldn't think that Kanye West would like.
I know. I thought that as well.
I
But-
mean, you'd think he'd do something grand, but it's a very I don't know. What do I know?
But like the room was like filled with roses like stood up as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I just thought it was a really strange aesthetic choice to have them standing up, something you'd see in Saw. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's inside standing amongst the
Yeah.
field of roses, which makes it weird.
Did he stand there and then they all put the roses in around Kenny G? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. He's by. I don't know. I don't know, man. He's by the door, so they could have. Maybe he's been there for years, and they just grew naturally around his saxophone playing.
Yeah,
But I want to know
think
how
that.
does. Oh no! Look, you can see round the video. I'm watching it right now. There's a trail. There's a trail to him. I can see. I'm
Oh,
watching
okay.
it right now. There's like round to the side. There's a little Kenny corridor,
Oh, I quite like the idea of just him standing there for ages.
and they close the door. Now, thanks, Kenny. I'm just gonna go and talk to my wife, and he's just left there.
Just like hearing them bang upstairs or something.
It's like
He's just stood
dominoes.
there, just like, let me just play you a soundtrack to your fucking.
Trying to drown it out with some saxophone.
You know, I saw loads of couples and stuff on my way home from work.
Oh yeah.
And normally I'd be like, "Rah, these fucking couples." But I was just in such a like chilled out, happy. I think it's because I met Louis through.
You're all through'd up, yeah.
I was just like, I love him. I was like chatting to my friend as well. Well, Harry,
Yeah.
because he was on the podcast. But and
Special guest Harry.
he was like, "Oh, are you having a like romantic evening of love?" And I was like, "No, I'm in bed watching Friends."
Oh.
And I was like, "What about you?" And he was like, "Yeah, same. I'm in bed watching Seinfeld."
So no one told you life was gonna be
It
this
was-
way.
You know, I still think having a chilled night in by yourself is really underrated.
No, I think it's great.
Like this weekend, my friend had a flat warming, but it obviously was like the first weekend I had since going back to work full time.
Okay.
And I was really like, all I want to do is be in bed. Like, I'm not saying I didn't want to socialize, and I'm not saying
No,
it wasn't
sure, but
lovely
yeah.
seeing them, but I was so tired from
Yeah, I know
commuting
what you
and
mean.
stuff that I was just like, oh, I really, really would kill to be in bed right now.
Your body's got to get accustomed to it again.
No, I think just doing this job has put me in a lot better mood and place
Good, man.
in general. So
There you go. You're
know.
starting up. That's how it begins. It's all uphill
Yeah.
from here. Give it a few years and you'll be married. That's all I wanted to talk about. Fucking hell, it's all coming back to me now. When I kiss you like this.
How many people do you think got engaged this Valentine's Day?
Oh,
Ballpark.
man.
Give me a ballpark figure.
Oh, man. What, in the world?
No, in the UK. Let's narrow it down.
I don't fucking know. Why? Have you got this statistical?
No. I just want to guess. Like, I'm just thinking about it. Like, probably a lot, right?
At least 6.
I don't think I would want to be proposed to on Valentine's Day. I mean, I say this. It doesn't look like I will ever be proposed to in my life. Valentine's Day is a bit obvious, you know?
According to Unilad, Britain's most respected media outlet,
I
Over
think it
1
is.
million people will get engaged on Valentine's.
Wow,
But
that's a lot.
that's like will get engaged. You know what I mean? Like not.
Oh, right.
I mean, it's a safe option. There's nothing wrong with having a safe option. It's a very big deal. You know, you want to make it as a, like effective a moment as you can make it.
Right.
Valentine's Day is already kind of setting the mood. You know
Yeah.
what, man? Why not do it if the day comes around?
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's a bit lazy. It's a bit
Well, look,
obvious. Do
if
you
your
know what I mean?
partner's into that,
It's
some
true.
people like that. They think it's like destiny, like the alignment. They like it. For some people, they love that
That
shit.
is true, actually. Yeah. I just think, you know what? If you're happy, I'm happy for you. Peak Millennial listeners, if you're happy.
Oh, peak millennial listeners, we love you.
Actually, I don't care about anyone else except anyone who's listening to this podcast right now. I care about you specifically, and I hope you're happy.
What if a peak millennial listener got proposed to on Valentine's? Then we want to hear from you.
Then I'm really sorry that I just offended the person who proposed to you, or if you proposed. But
peak millennial listeners, you all deserve to be proposed to.
If you're listening to this podcast, you're definitely single.
After me and Angela have sex with you all,
yeah,
the proposals will come flooding in.
Well, that'll be your engagement present. I'll have sex with both of you. Maybe I think I've taken this joke too far. So let's move on to the questions.
Wait, what was I going to say? No, I got reminded of something. You're going to reach that age soon, pal, because I'm that age now. Everyone's getting fucking married. It's weirding me out, man.
To be fair, I saw a girl from my primary school that I don't talk to, so I don't know why I have her on Facebook. But apart from everyone I have on Facebook, I don't talk to.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Because I have no friends. She got engaged the other day, and I was like, oh fuck, it's starting. Because I already know this other girl who I was actually like quite good friends with in school, in primary school, has a baby now.
Oh my Christ! Yeah, I got people who have babies.
I was like, you're a real adult, and then I noticed this yesterday. That girl who got engaged, her Facebook post only got like 30 likes. And my Facebook post about my new job has gotten over 100. So I was like, who's really winning here?
No, I don't like the whole Facebook thing.
In my depression, I was like, well, at least I'm doing something. At least I'm not completely alone.
No. But it's a strange thing, man. I kind of like it, though. I like that everyone else is getting married. And it's like, this is good. Everyone else is chilling, and I'm chilling. But at least I know that they're definitely chilling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're doing good. Yeah. Good for them.
It is a bit. It's just mad, like, because you just realise that you're getting older. I think I'm just too self-aware. I'm too aware of my place in life. Like I was talking to my friend about my old work friend about my new job today, and someone asked me like how old I was, and I was like, I don't want to say. And they were like, why? And I was like, because I'm really young and you're all going to be really shocked. And they were like, nah, we won't be. And I said, oh, I'm 22. And they were all like, what? You know?
What?
Also, my friend who I was talking to on the phone, he said that I've started to sound like you.
Me?
Yeah, apparently.
What?
I've just like picked up on the way that you speak or something. And now I'm just evolving into you.
Well, look, I do feel like I am peak human being, so at some point, all of humanity will evolve into me.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I think that's a good thing to happen. You're a good guy, Gio. A lot of women couldn't do much better than you, in my opinion.
That's thanks, man. Thanks.
That sounded like an insult, but I genuinely did mean it as a compliment.
Process that. Like, is this a joke? What am I doing here?
I actually, the thing is, like, the problem with my voice is that I'm quite sarcastic a lot of the time. So sometimes I'm being genuine and it doesn't sound like it. Like, I remember one of my old housemates, she like put something on or something and she was like, how do I look? And I was like, oh my God, you look so nice. And she was like, are you being sarcastic? And I was like, no, that's just my voice. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know why.
Compliment people more. We need to.
I think that's what it is. I think people get surprised when I actually am nice to them, which it just makes me really sad because I try and be a nice person, but I just don't think I am.
One day we'll both disappoint a very lovely significant other. I'm sure. Let's get on with the podcast.
All right, let's dive into some questions, shall we?
Questions. I've got two very long questions, so you're gonna have to sit through them, peak millennial listeners. Sit back, Get yourself an iced tea.
Wrap up warm.
Get off the toilet. Get in your bed. Get in your lovely heated blanket. You have a heated blanket, don't you?
I do. It is absolute heaven.
Fucking weirds me out. You're sleeping amongst electricity. Weirds me.
You always sleep
What if
amongst
you,
electricity.
What if you drool on it and it
You sleep next to your
shocks you?
phone, don't you?
No, I put my phone far away.
Yeah, but it's not near your head. The electric blanket it's by like your feet, so you wouldn't drool on it.
But that's the area where my balls are. I don't want to get shocked there.
Your
my feet.
your balls are at your feet.
I got feet balls. God damn it! I was supposed to read the fucking question, and we got fucking talking about feet balls. I'll read it in a soothing. Is this a soothing tone?
Ooh, it is.
Tone.
Ooh.
This is my soothing tone.
All right, let's dive in.
Me, 32 male, with my roommate. Roommate is in bunny commas. 31-year-old male. How do I ask him to be my boyfriend when we pretty much already are a couple? Oh, let me read you this wonderful tale of two gentlemen. I'll be the first to admit I have huge commitment issues. My parents threw me out for being gay, and then shortly after I entered into an abusive relationship with a much older man. People always begin this stuff with unnecessary fluff. It's like, when I was 6 years old, I fell out of a tree and I broke my leg, and my legs have never really been the same. Anyway, I met this girl called Sarah.
This is online therapy, Gio. That's why.
After that broke up because he found someone younger.
Oof.
It's like getting a new iPhone. I was in a relationship with a guy who was in the closet and basically was his dirty secret until he got engaged to a woman without telling me, and then wanted me to stick around. I didn't. After that, I became pretty anti-relationship. I'm pretty well known for being anti-relationship too, especially in my circle of friends. My circle of friends. About 18 months ago, I met Alan. Fine Alan. At a supermarket. We made eye contact. Blurted a lot. I invited him back to my place for a drink. Right, first of all, man, I wish it was as easy as that. Just like,
I know. I
making
was
eye
just
contact
about
in
to
a
say,
supermarket. God
I've
damn.
made eye contact with many, many strangers, and it's mostly met with repulsion.
Oh, no.
I'm kidding. I'm an attractive
like
young woman. It never happens to me.
I know. Making eye contact with people kind of weirds me out, though, because I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah.
They've stared into my soul for a brief second.
Yeah. So I generally as well, like I don't know, I think it's a London thing. I just try and avoid any kind of eye contact with any stranger because I'm like, oh God, if they look at me, they're going to try and talk to me, and I'm just going to it's horrible. Whereas like, and even if they're hot, right? If they're hot, it's even worse because then I'm like, oh my God, you can't look at them because then they'll know that you find them attractive.
Yeah, I know. It's a thing. Oh, man. Don't get me started. What a dilemma. Anyway,
What a
this,
twisted
dude.
world we live in. Anyway, yeah.
We started a FWB. What's that?
Friends with benefits.
Oh, right. For some reason, I didn't register W was with. Friends with benefits thing after that, but then slowly started hanging out outside of the bedroom. I like the way you phrased that, hanging out outside of the bedroom. Then Alan's lease was up, and I was wanting a housemate, so I asked him if he was interested.
Oh, Christ.
Couldn't afford it, but
That's
I told him
very...
he could pay.
That's very risky. Anyway, yeah, go on.
You don't think that's a bold move?
I think so. Asking your friend with benefits to then move into your house.
No, man, shows you cash. Shows you like.
Shows you cash. All right. We have very different ideas of cash.
Imagine the monetary savings. You don't have to drive over to the house anymore. They just live like next door to you.
I mean, yeah, it's true, but I don't know. It just shocked me. Yeah.
He couldn't afford it, but I told him he could pay what he was currently paying, and he could cook and keep the house clean. This guy's paid for a sexual
This is
maid.
a sugar daddy, yeah. Yeah.
He agreed because he was essentially paying for a single woman, blah, 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 and he loves cooking and cleaning anyway. His personality reminds me a lot of Monica from Friends, only he works in a library. Before I knew it, I was getting packed lunches every day, and he's made a vegetable patch in the backyard. Oh, what a dreamboat.
What? This guy sounds amazing.
That's like my kind of guy. Holy shit.
Yeah.
About 2 months after he moved in, he brought up being mutually exclusive friends with benefits after an STI scare. I agreed because I actually hadn't slept with anyone except Alan for ages, and neither had he. So after we got tested again, we stopped using condominos. That was me avoiding saying the word condoms because I'm a grown adult. Then after a few months after that, Alan wanted to join the gym, So I added him to my membership as my partner.
This
We
guy, this is okay, right?
This guy's being groomed into marriage.
I was gonna say. Anyway, continue.
We turn up to events with each other. We hang out a lot. He sleeps in my room more often than his room because we have sex there at the most. All right, man, come on, humble
We
brag.
get it. You guys fuck. Come
Yeah.
on.
Then last week we were at a party when somebody asked what our relationship was. Alan laughed, looked at me straight in the eye, and said that we were mutually exclusive housemates with benefits with income proportional expense sharing.
Okay, right. I'm gonna cut in here. I'm gonna cut in because in that context, right, you just say, "Oh, we're friends." Like, there's no. So I actually had a situation like this, kind of.
I've
No,
been in
not
that
really
too.
at all. Not at all. I don't know why I preface it like that. I had a situation socially where I was with a friend of mine and I was trying to return stuff on, basically, long story short, if you pay for something on Apple Pay, it has a different card number to when you pay for it with your card.
Yeah, it's like safer. Yeah.
Yeah, I did not know this, so I was trying to return it, and I was like, "Wait, what the fuck card is that? I don't know why that's on it because I
Yeah.
paid with Apple Pay, but I didn't realize. I thought it would come up as the same card number."
Sure.
And then the woman at the till was like, "Oh, maybe it was your boyfriend's card," and then he was like, "No, it wasn't my card." So blah blah blah, and then got on with it and whatever, and then we left. And I was like, "Oh, like that was weird. Like we didn't say like." Oh, he's not my boyfriend. And then my friend was like, yeah, but in those situations, like, it's just awkward and uncomfortable. And he was like, I hate it in movies when they're like, like, we're not boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, you just, for those 5 seconds that you're going to talk to that person, you might as well just go along with it because who does it really affect? Like, no one.
So I've been, we've interrupted this story, but it's fine. Okay, this is what you've come to expect on people.
We can't tell stories here.
This is why I've tried to become just like more to just like think about things before I do them. Because when I was younger, I was like the more extreme version of me. Like I just didn't think about anything. Like I didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
Not in a bad way. I was just like, shit doesn't really matter. So it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember there was this lady, and I hope they listen to the podcast. That really freaked me out.
Okay.
And I was like, this lady was like engaging in like, she's like, I think she was just coming on to me, but she's doing stuff like holding my hand. She wasn't wrestling me. Just stuff getting very like, touchy feely.
Is this someone I know?
No.
Oh.
And at the time I was just like, fucking, whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's not hurting anyone. It's like, but I had no intention of like pursuing this girl. I was young. I was a young lad. I wasn't like 4, but I was young. And then at one point it was like somebody asked like, "Oh, so what are you guys?" And I was like, "Oh shit, this has gone beyond my humble brain anticipated." You know what I mean? At that point I was like, "Shit, I got to start thinking things through now and like, stop being a little airy fairy airhead." Yeah, stop being a little prick.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, Jesus, I guess we're friends. I mean, I think she answered and she was like, oh, we're just friends. And I was like, oh, that's how we handle this.
Just say you're friends for those like 5 seconds until you've had that conversation in private. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, it is cliche and cringy, but that is exactly how I was in that situation as a young person. I was like, what the fuck? What's happening?
Oh, Gio, no, you're exactly the kind of person I despise.
Anyway, and he said that they were mutually exclusive housemates with benefits with income proportional expense sharing.
Sorry, cutting in again. That is too. That's just too much information. I'm sorry, that person is an oversharer.
We could be close friends.
As someone who knows about oversharing, right, on this podcast, more specifically, like, there's no need. Come on. Anyway, continue.
Now that just sounds ridiculous. I know I have a boyfriend.
Sorry, I'm going to cut in again.
Oh my lord!
I'm joking. I'm just pulling
Shut the fuck up! Let me tell my story. Not my story. Now that just sounds ridiculous. I know I have a boyfriend. I've been sort of denying it all this time, but that's what Alan is. This situation is both really screwed up because I've also never been happier. He's so easy to talk to. Blah, blah, blah. Like I don't know what I did with myself before I met him. This sounds like, if my family are listening to me, this sounds like a very strange, like I'm coming out to my friend in the podcast. I've got a lot of people in my house right now. I'm always like, nothing wrong with that, but it's like,
It's so funny. Anyway,
strange thing to stumble in on. But somehow I both want him to be my boyfriend, but a part of me is scared of getting in a relationship, even though I am in one. I just feel like saying the words will change everything. It's a commitment, and I really want it, but there's an irrational part of me that is scared. Also,
Mm.
I'm scared that Alan doesn't think we're in a relationship, even though we are. We are, right? Alan has never had a boyfriend as long as I've known him, and he has his own set of issues too. His parents basically tried to pray the gay away, and he
Mm.
left off of his own volition. He used to bring up very subtly about getting more serious, but I would just evade, and he stopped pushing. It's so weird. Like, I can talk to him about everything and anything. We have these amazing conversations, but lately this whole boyfriend thing is like the elephant in the room. How do I
Mm.
go for the sphere of commitment? And also, what does it say that he'd put up with this crap from me? From me?
Wow, there we go. Okay.
Oh, man.
So that is a okay. I'm gonna preface all of the advice that I give with I obviously don't understand some of the issues that they're gonna have, like with the parents praying the gay away, and the issues that they've had and being issues of sexuality. Some of it I'm not gonna
Sure.
understand. So obviously I'm coming at this from a bisexual hormones perspective, which is going to be different.
Yeah.
But it's really difficult. But I think, firstly, have a conversation in a non-confrontational way. Like, there's no sort of like, either with this or with this. Like, if you're happy doing what you're doing, but you don't need to put a label on it, and you can just tell other people, like, yeah, we're housemates, or yeah, we're room, whatever, then I don't really see the need to change anything necessarily. I don't know. That's my opinion. What do you think?
Sure. I mean, as a straight white male, well, my opinion is the only one that matters here. So, um, I think that I mean, if it super freaks you out and bothers you, and you think it's gonna fuck anything up, then I guess it
Yeah.
hasn't caused any problems. Things going as they have been going.
Yeah. Because, right, in this scenario, they've established that they're not sleeping with anyone else.
Yeah.
They have all of the makings of being in a relationship. They live together and all that kind of stuff.
Done everything but say the word.
Yeah, so like if they don't want to do that and they want to stay in this because it's nicer and easier, and it potentially could ruin it if they do say something, just leave it as what it is for now then.
Yeah, you sound like you're having a good time.
Yeah, so for the person who's asking the question, if it's important to them that they label it, then I would consider having a conversation where you're like, look, I kind of feel like even though I have all these commitment issues, like it's something that I'm willing to work on. This is another thing as well. I think people sometimes they think like, oh, I have these issues, so I'm not going to do this. Or like, I'm not going to try because I have these issues and I don't want to mess that person up or whatever.
Sure.
But it's like, firstly, if you care about someone, you're going to try and put as in effort to try and
Yeah, man.
change those issues. And then
Yeah.
also, you're not a fixed state. You can change those things. You can work on issues that you have. And this is from someone who has had commitment issues and has worked on them and has changed a lot.
Mm.
So I just
But
think,
this person also said that Alan had brought it up before. So, like, if the dude's hinting
yeah,
towards it, it's something you're thinking about. Like,
I bet it's one of those things where like they'll have the conversation, realize actually that both of them are probably in the same place, and then
yeah,
continue from there. Whether or not that's being in a relationship or just both of them are happy to continue the way that they are and not label things, then I think it's fine. And they've already established that they're not sleeping with anyone else, so it's not like they have to worry about like the STI thing that they almost had. They don't have to
yeah,
worry about that sort of thing for now. I think people don't enjoy being happy and in the moment when they're in it. And that's, again, something I do as well. It feels like I'm sort of, never allowing myself to feel stuff in the moment. And I feel like these people are probably freaking out about, oh, but what does this mean? And it's like, sometimes it doesn't have to mean anything. You can just enjoy it for what it is. And
yeah,
you don't have to define anything, because that's just other people's expectations that you have to live up to. If both of you are happy in that situation, then who gives a fuck what anyone else thinks?
yeah. But it sounds like this guy wants more. He wants
Yeah,
more.
that's a different conversation. Then you need to have a conversation and be like, oh, I want to be in a relationship, but I know I have these issues. I know you do too, but I'm willing to work on them, and I hope we could work on them together. That's what you should say. Is there an update for this?
Angela, of course, there's an update.
Oh, also, sorry. I just wanted to say I just spoke a lot about this. I want to hear your opinion on what I've said. basically.
This is like when you're talking to your girlfriend and she says a whole bunch of stuff and she's like, "What do you think?" And you're like,
You haven't been listening to anything I've been saying, have you?
No, I have, but I've also been looking for things and questions and things. Look, I think this is a pretty safe. This is just. I mean, obviously, the dude speaking wants. Yeah, he wants the relationship thing. He wants it to be, to be boyfriend
Right.
or thingy thing. But it sounds like he also. It sounds like he wants that, but he also kind of doesn't. It wouldn't ruin him if they were to just stay as they were.
Mhm.
So I think it's no harm. There's no harm bringing it up. You bring it up in like a funny way because the way Alan like said they were. He said
Yeah. All
he
that
did a really
stuff.
funny thing. So he was like,
Yeah.
it's kind of funny what you said over there. What is was that you trying to hint? You kind of
Mm.
joke around it, but you guys are, yeah, you've seen each
Yeah.
other naked. You can have a conversation.
Yeah.
And I think go that way, and then you discover that. I mean, to be honest, though, from the outside looking in, it sounds like he's already been talking about it, man. If this was my mate, I'd
Yeah.
be like, dude, you gotta just, if the dude doesn't want to, if the dude doesn't want to get into it because of his parents and stuff, then that's whatever, all right. But it shouldn't stop you from just bringing it up, right? Bringing it
Yeah,
up
I agree.
once.
I also think that if you don't try, then you're never going to change. You know? Like
Yeah.
you can think, "Oh, I have all these issues," and if you just think that is who I am, that's never going to change. It's not going to change. Whereas you could miss out on something that could be really great because you have a barrier up.
I will concede that the asking the guy to move in with him was like
Yeah. I
a
mean,
strange, bold first move. But hey, if it works out,
yeah.
it works out, right?
I
What do
was a
we
bit
know?
taken aback by that. Yeah, what do we literally? I
It's a
mean, that
bold
is.
first move, but why not?
I think we should have renamed this podcast. What do we know?
Yeah, what do we fucking know? That is kind of like that is the beginning to a great little rom com, though. It's like, why don't you move in
Yeah.
with me? First, they were friends with benefit, then they moved in together, and everything changed.
Hit me with the update, Gio.
Oh, you didn't want me to read any of the replies from the people.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, some
What do
replies.
the people think? This person says you should say, "Hey, Alan, the other day at the party, you said that we were XXXX. I know this conversation is lame, and I'm not trying to change anything we're doing, but don't you think that we're boyfriends already?" And the person just says, "Just talk, dude. Not to the
Yeah,
internet, to him."
yeah.
There's no harm asking for advice from the internet or your favorite
Because
podcast at peakmillennial.com.
because I think at first as well, if it is quite a big step to have the conversation with that person. So I think at first sometimes it's nice to be like, no, should I talk to them?
Some people are very aggressive about this. This person's got a very. This is a tough love response. This person says, "Of course, his description sounded ridiculous. Alan meant it to sound ridiculous because." And then he quotes, "He used to bring up very subtly about getting more serious, but I would just evade and he stopped pushing." And the person says, "He can't call you his boyfriend. You
Yeah,
you are the architect of this
yeah.
ridiculous sounding situation. I'm sorry that asking for commitment is scary for you, but you have totally put yourself in the position of needing to ask because
This
you've
is
tied
very
Alan's
true.
hands from doing it at this point. Just go
Hmm.
ahead and do it. I'm sure Alan would accept." Tough love.
I like it. Very true.
A lot of people were saying to cook him a meal and then ask him. So that's what I did. It was a bit of a disaster. I screwed up the chicken dish I wanted to make. Ended up making mac and cheese with the expensive gluten-free saffron pasta because Alan is king of the kitchen and even our olive oil is fancy. He was he was sympathetic, but I could tell he was amused when I told him I screwed up the dish and was happy with mac and cheese. Anyway, I
This
already
guy sounds amazing. Like he just sounds like an absolute fucking dream.
Alan. Yeah, I know. I want to be friends with Alan. God damn.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was already a bit agitated from screwing up dinner, but when we sat down, I was thinking about blah blah's comment about how Alan was my lobster.
They're soup snakes.
What the fuck is a soup snake?
In the office, Michael Scott says to this woman Holly, he writes her a note and he tries to write that they're soulmates, but it smudges in his so he reads it as soup snakes. And it's like soulmate is like not always what you think you're gonna get, and it might be a bit rocky or whatever, but these two people are like perfect for each other. Soup
When you said
snakes.
soup snakes, I thought it was a reference to that scene in Lady and a Tramp when they both eat spaghetti from each side of the bit of spaghetti.
No, I wouldn't bring up spaghetti around you, Gio. You call me a racist.
Only I was so nervous, I said, "Alan, you're a lobster," instead of saying that he was my lobster, and that just confused
Aw.
him, and he asked if I wanted to if I wanted him to make lobster.
Oh.
That just made
Oh.
me embarrassed, so I told him not to worry about it. I went to pour him some wine and ended up knocking his glass into the mac
Oh
and cheese
God.
and ruined it. This is rom-com material. So we ended up getting takeaway and watching
Oh.
Netflix, and I was still a bit on the edge because I'd screwed up the evening. We were cuddling, so he could tell that I was a bit tense and not focused, I guess. Anyway, he asked me what the matter was, and I just blurted out, "Are you my boyfriend?" And he looked uncertain and said, "Yes, if you want me to be." And I just very
Oh.
emph-
Empathetic.
emphatically,
Oh,
goddamn,
emphatic. Yeah.
emphatically said I wanted him to be, and he looked very relieved and happy. I apologized for
Oh.
evading the topic before, and Alan said it was okay because I was the best boyfriend he'd ever had, with or without labels, and that got us to the fun portion of the night. Oh, the fun
Oh.
portion.
Okay.
The night. Anyway, a bit later, I guess something twigged because he asked me if that was what dinner was about, and I said yes, and he pinched my cheeks and called me adorable. He then asked me what the lobster thing was. He thought I tried to make him lobster, but I explained the Friends quote, and he said it was a good thing I was pretty.
Oh.
Anyway, I asked him if if we need to make an announcement or anything, but we agreed that we wouldn't say anything unless people brought it up, or we
Yeah,
need to
exactly.
introduce each other.
There we
Alan
go.
also said he liked the term partner better than boyfriend, and I agreed. It does sound more serious, but I guess that's what it is. Rejoice!
That has made me very happy.
A happy ending.
That's made me all warm and fuzzy inside. Oh,
That is a good story. I do like the
yeah.
lobster. I like the lobster
Yeah.
bit a lot. That is some...
It is such rom-com material. You're so
It is.
right. Should we steal this person's story and make a film about it?
We should.
Yeah.
Make lobster for your significant other.
Yeah.
Or call them your lobster.
We love it. All right. Have you got another question for me, Gio?
It's a big one.
All right. I'm ready.
Sit back, relax, pour yourself a cuppa. My 21-year-old male girlfriend, 27-year-old female of almost 3 years, proposed to me a few weeks ago.
Ooh. Okay.
I rejected it,
Ooh.
and
Okay.
our relationship hasn't been the same ever since.
Well, no shit. Obviously, it wouldn't be.
Damn! That is a big hitter of a start to a question. My girlfriend Sarah proposed to me a few... Oh, I said Sarah earlier on as a joke. My girlfriend Sarah proposed to me a few weeks ago. We discussed marriage before. I told her eventually I'd like to get married to her. I mentioned that I didn't want to have the pressure of proposing to her. We didn't agree on a time frame for when she could propose to me, though. Her proposal to me was in private. The setting and mood were perfect, but I rejected it. I said I loved her very much, but I felt too young to get married. I said I still saw us having a future together. I know all of her friends are getting married. She's also the older one in our relationship. Sarah already has a successful career and is looking to settle down, I assume, whereas I still need to graduate university.
What? He hasn't even graduated. Christ. This woman needs to calm down. Anyway, sorry.
Our relationship has been different lately ever since her proposal. My girlfriend used to initiate sex with me every day. Humble brag.
Oh,
Now I find I have to. God, gotta put in all the work. And she doesn't feel like doing it as much as we used to. Sometimes I feel like she doesn't want me in bed with her. We don't have late night conversations anymore. I've caught her crying late at night and have tried my best to comfort her. I voiced how upset I've been to the recent direction of our relationship. Sarah gets quiet and doesn't want to articulate her feelings to me. This is strange coming from her. We've always believed that communication is key in our relationship. We're not afraid to tell each other anything. I'm afraid that she doesn't love me anymore. I feel like we're now just roommates. I don't know what to do. She's my first girlfriend. Oh, Jesus. I didn't even read that before when I chose this question. I've never seen her like this. Is there anything I can do to fix our relationship to the way it was before? I'm almost certain this is all a result of her proposal, but I can't help but feel like there's another reason. Oh,
wow.
Jesus. I didn't even read that last bit when I chose this question.
This is a heavy hitter.
What the Christ?
This is a heavy hitter.
Oh, I should have got more iced tea.
This has just whacked me right in the stomach. Like, ugh. Gut punch.
Maybe I should have saved the happy questions for
Yeah, I was gonna say, fucking no. So firstly, this is obviously a result of you rejecting her proposal. If we're going by The Sims, right?
Obviously, yeah.
Which is what I use to gauge life.
Sure. Sure.
When someone rejects someone on The Sims for their proposal,
Mm.
the minus bars go down of that
Yes.
friendship level, and you got to work
Oh,
it back up again.
exactly.
Right? So that's where you are now. I also don't know the time frame of how long it's been since she proposed. So, like, say he's writing this in and it's been like 2 weeks since that happened. It's
Yeah,
going
I
to be
think he
longer
said a
than
few
that.
weeks or some shit. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's no way that anyone would be able to get over someone rejecting their proposal. And the thing is, right, is that it's like, yeah, they're still together, and yeah, he can say like, oh, I'm young, like blah blah blah. But when you put yourself out there so vulnerable, and someone hits you back with that, and I do agree with him rejecting her proposal. I do think he's too young, but regardless of that, you're still going to feel so upset that you put yourself out there and you wanted to propose and you thought you did it in the completely right setting and it didn't go how you expected.
Yes.
That is going to shoot you down in any scenario. And I think he has to be a little bit more understanding of that, to be honest.
Yes. Obviously, this is fucked up. His poor girlfriend. So there needs to be a conversation about that because they're still together. So obviously they both still want to be together. But you're right. That's a super big thing to do, and you can't just pretend like it never happened. Fuck me. This guy's 21 years old, and this is his first girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly. Like this as well.
She's 27.
You gotta,
mate. If I was going at 21, I was a babby.
Yeah.
If I was going out with 20, that'd be the equivalent of going out with like a MILF.
It's
at 21, you're like,
it's
what
really
you
not
doing?
that much of an age gap, Gio.
When you're 21, I don't know.
But I don't know. I think I've met
21.
I've met
Still
people
at
when I
uni?
was 21. Oh no, but then I wasn't in uni when I was 21. I graduated when I was 20, so it's kind of different.
21.
I just graduated when I was 20 because I'm really clever. No, it's just because I'm young.
I'm really smart.
But my point is that I don't necessarily think
Could you date younger guys, Ange?
I have dated younger guys, Gio.
Yeah, but like 6 years younger?
Well, then I would be a paedophile, so absolutely not.
Well, yeah, you're right.
Um,
Oh, wait, so this person, when they met, they've been dating for 3 years. This person would have been 18, she would have been 24.
Oh, there's no way I wouldn't date someone who's 18 now and I'm 22.
That's the equivalent of me. That's me dating an 18-year-old.
That if you were dating an 18-year-old, I would probably slap you in the face and I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing, Gio? I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, I would just be like, you're a fucking moron. Date someone your own age.
We're going to get married.
I'd just make jokes about you being a babysitter, probably.
Oh, man. That is like, yeah, there you go. That's a way to think about it, isn't it? Whoa, I can't even like look at people aged like 21.
Yeah.
That's only like 3 years younger than me. It freaks me out.
Exactly. Like, I couldn't date someone younger than, like, you know what? I scratch that. I wouldn't date anyone younger than me right now. I've tried dating boys younger than me, and they are exactly that, boys.
I need a man. You change so much. 18 to 21, 21 to anything.
Yeah.
Change so much.
You plateau after like 20, like 30, I'd say. No, not even 30.
But...
Probably like maybe 35. I'd say you level out. But he's got so much to do in his career and like all that kind of stuff. I just think, firstly, I think someone at 21 and someone at 27 are at two completely different stages in their lives.
They are, man. They are.
People always say age is just a number, but like, and the problem is I think personally, people are always like, yeah, but I'm so mature, and I'm like, yeah, but you're not. You don't even. I'll admit that. Like,
you just don't notice that you're a little shit.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I'll admit, like, I'm 22, and I know that I'm immature. Do you know what I mean? In certain respects.
Sure.
And I just think you never realize how young you are until you're older. So when I look back at some of the stuff that I thought I was mature enough to do, and I was like 15, 16, and now I'm like, you were a child. And I think I'll think the same thing in another 3 years. I'll be like, you were so young and you thought you knew so much and you knew nothing.
6 years. That's me dating a 30-year-old.
Maybe this is sexist. I don't know. But I do think men and women are socialized differently. So someone who's at her age, people are going to be looking at her to settle down with someone or whatever, because that's normally the age that you would. Or if her friends are getting married and all that kind of stuff, you will feel that pressure. And I think it's not necessarily a reflection on him and that kind of rejected proposal in a certain respect, but she's probably feeling the pressure to be engaged or settling down and stuff now. So that is also kind of her responsibility.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. She's she's late 20s. All of her friends are getting married. You can't help but look at that on
Yeah.
your Facebook profile. You're looking at Valentine's
I'm
Day.
not gonna lie, this woman weirds me out anyway, because what
She's
kind of
panicking as
fucking
well.
what 24-year-old dates someone who's 18? Like I'm sorry, it just really freaks
Yeah.
me out. And I have dated younger men
But
in the
as an
past, but
18-year-old, oh, you'd be like, fuck yeah.
yeah,
You know what
exactly. But that is a slight generalization, Gio, but
I mean? It's
whatever.
real.
I'll allow it. But no, exactly. Like that's my point though. Like, as the older person in that relationship, you kind of have to take some responsibility, and recognize that they are not going to be in the same place that you are. You know.
And that's I can get my head into like what happens in a situation because they both start acting like the younger guy starts acting more mature because he's with this lady and she acts more mature and they become known as like the strange couple. But he's very mature for his age. But
Yeah, but like,
when you're taken out of that situation, it's like
yeah,
dude's 21.
yeah,
His first girl. Well, it's also bar everything. It's your first girlfriend. Imagine if you got married to
yeah.
your first boyfriend or first
Oh
girlfriend.
my god, are you kidding me?
Fucking hell.
Oh god, I just like
What's a palaver?
my first. I'm gonna say my first like serious relationship. Like
Yeah.
actually, like could see it going somewhere. If I married them, I would be so fucking miserable now. Do you know what I mean? Oh my god, they were so immature, and like, I just think, I do think for some people it works out. Like, one of my exes actually, his parents met when they were in uni, and then
Hmm.
have just like been together ever since. And I was like, that's crazy to me, but for some people, it works out. But I always
Maybe it's just a
think,
modern thing, pal. Back in the day.
yeah, I don't know. For me, I think it's just a perspective thing, but I like to learn a lot from different experiences and then
Sure.
make it better me as a person. So I like to have learned from all the stuff that I've had in my previous relationships and think, how can I make the next one better? Not on them, but like me personally, how do I, maybe not put as much stress on them or
Yeah,
not freak
sure.
out about certain things as much and all that kind of
You
stuff.
learn about yourself in every relationship. You
Yeah.
learn about yourself, and you're like, God damn, I
Yeah.
hate that anymore.
That
That
is
was
such an important thing, I
this is
think,
how
is
I
to learn
behave.
about yourself.
Oh,
So, yeah.
look, maybe they're just very traditional. Back in the day, you married Jenny who worked at the lumber mill. And that was it. That was
But
your life.
clearly they're not traditional because she's older than him.
Yeah, you're right.
My point is that, like, he needs to accept that although his intentions and in his head, he's like, yeah, of course we're still going to have a future together. It's just I don't want to get married right now. He's got to understand that she won't feel that way and she's going to feel really rejected and horrible about this. And in the same respect, she's got to understand that he is a lot younger than her. He has a lot of
Yeah.
development to do in his career and all that kind of stuff. And he maybe doesn't want to be married right now. And only will understand that if they have a conversation with each other about it. You can't just keep dodging it. You can't just keep avoiding it. And he is trying. He's trying to have that conversation with her. But she's, going quiet and all that kind of stuff. You can't do shit like that. You just can't. That's what I've learned in my past relationships. Is that, like, if
Yeah.
you have a problem, just fucking say something. Like, you
Let's
can't
say
just
it's
keep
awkward and
bottling
it's
it up.
uncomfortable, but
Yeah, and like maybe it's, I don't know, maybe that's why I'm single. But if
doesn't matter.
I've had a problem with something and I've said like, this made me feel really sad or like really horrible or whatever. This upset me, and then normally the response is, I'm really sorry. Let's try and work on it, and I won't do it again. Or if for me it'd be like, okay, I'll understand that wasn't your intention, and now in the future, like, I'll understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just have a chat about everything. It's just,
But this is
if you just
also a
fucking
very
talk to
unique
this
chat.
person.
You're only gonna ever have this chat once or twice. It's not-
What, this chat of, let's not get married.
So, you remember that one time you proposed to me and I told you to fucking get lost?
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's what someone says. I'm surprised no one here has commented on the fact that OP, original poster, said that he didn't want the pressure of proposing. That right there is what I think gave her the idea to propose, to
Yeah,
pursue proposing to you. Yeah, to be
yeah,
fair, that's a hit
that's
and a
very
half, isn't
true.
it? Fuck me. And this person also says you should address the timeline differences as others have suggested, but I would also address this commitment as it is likely as it has God in English it has likely confused her and makes you saying no even worse in her head. What
Mm,
she might have seen
yeah,
as a hint for her to propose blew up in her face.
yes, exactly.
Do you want the
Update.
update? Well, there is no
Yes,
update,
please.
so
Oh,
tough shit.
what?
Ah, I'm just kidding, cause there is.
Oh, you fucking. You
All right,
trickster.
here's the update. I wrote a letter to Sarah. Okay, so good. All right, that's a way to do it. I told
Actually,
her.
that is, sorry, I'm going to cut in. That
You
is
go.
a very valid thing that my counsellor
Letter.
has advised me to do
Oh
sometimes.
yeah.
I've never fucking done it because every time she tells me to do something in therapy, I'm like, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this, which is going to be a lot more harmful. Um, but because it's like, obviously with a message or like a conversation, like text messaging or whatever, people expect an instant response.
Oh
Whereas if you
sure,
have
yeah.
like a letter, you can mull things over, you can think about what you want to say, and sometimes
I
your initial
see.
response isn't always the best one and doesn't always convey what you actually think or feel. Whereas a
Yes,
letter will give you some time to write out what you want to say for the person who's sending it, and then also the person who's receiving it has time to think about it. So,
that's
for all
good.
our peak millennial listeners, maybe if you have a situation kind of like this, write a letter to them. Anyway,
That's a
continue.
cracking. We should remember that for other advices because I feel like
Yeah,
that's if you got the time and you can do it, like
yeah, yeah.
smart option. Anyway, he did that. So I told her I was sorry for not being empathetic to what she was going through. I told her I didn't understand how much the proposal meant to her. I apologized if what I said misled her into thinking it was okay for her to propose to me.
Mm.
I listed my timeline. I said I'd like to be engaged around the time I graduated university, and I wanted to get married the same year.
All right.
I mentioned I was open to having children with her. I gave Sarah the letter when she came home from work. She read it, and we had the conversation about everything over dinner. My girlfriend apologized for mistaking my words as a green light for her to propose. She expressed regret for withdrawing physical intimacy and distancing herself from me for 3 weeks. Sarah explained to me how she never wanted kids or marriage at the beginning of our relationship, but seeing all of her friends get married made her question that.
There we
My
go.
girlfriend realized she wasn't content anymore on staying child free and not getting married for the rest of her life. See, that's what Facebook does to you, man. It fucks you up.
Yeah, social media, get off it.
Delete Facebook.
Hmm.
My girlfriend told me my timeline was acceptable for her. Sarah asked if I could be the one to propose to her this time. I told her I would. I've never seen my girlfriend so giddy with excitement before. I'm glad we could come to a happy solution. I'm excited to spend the rest of my life with this woman. I love her with all of my heart, and I couldn't see myself being with a different person. That's because you've never been with a different person. I know I'm young to get married, but I'm absolutely ecstatic to start a family with my girlfriend. Our relationship is back to normal. We have sex every day. Oh, we
Every day.
every day. And she's comfortable initiating with me again. Oh, it doesn't you have to put in the work anymore. All you had to do was say that he'd marry her. God damn. I deeply regret rejecting her proposal because in reality, this is what I wanted the whole time. I just needed a few days to seriously think about it. I'm glad my girlfriend has forgiven me for this. I know both of us are equally at fault because of our lack of communication, but it really did suck having to reject her. All right, dude. This sounds like God fucking damn it. This sounds like some person's been brainwashed. This sounds like some person like getting lured into Scientology or some shit. This person's like, I know now that I was wrong to reject my girlfriend. This is what I wanted all
this is
along.
this is actually a really interesting topic of conversation though,
I
because
want to have a babies.
with
What?
proposals and stuff, right? There's an expectation again of that instant response, whereas it is actually a huge decision, and sometimes
right.
like you think like, oh, I'm not ready for this. This is a huge mistake, sort of thing, straight away, and then you think about it and you're like, actually, it would be nice, or vice versa, right? So
man.
I think proposals are very strange, and I don't think people should be upset when you're like, actually, let me think about this for a little bit. And I think maybe that's what he should have done in that scenario, because now he realizes he does want to marry her. But I think there's this whole thing of like, oh, well, if you have to think about it, you don't want to marry them in the first place. I'm like, no one should make decisions like that, right? It's a terrible idea. You should never ever make a snap decision
I
in
don't
that kind
know,
of.
man. I look. I'm gonna be the most like straight whitest guy here right now, but I don't think this guy wants to marry her.
Mm,
I think like he fucking, the sex went away, everything went to shit, and he was like, I could marry her.
yeah. You know, that's an interesting
He's
that's
21.
yeah, that is an interesting perspective.
Everything went to shit. He panicked, and now he's like, yeah, we just fucking get
I
married.
see where you're coming from. I think it's like it's a does he want to get married or does he just not want to lose her right now?
Yeah.
He's got to sow his oats in a way. He's got to, realize maybe. But I do kind of get where you're coming from with the whole like I was wrong before, but actually I do want to marry her. Blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
And
And
now I want kids too. Like, what?
I also think like maybe it's not intentional on her part, but I do think it is kind of manipulative to be like, oh, I'm gonna like withdraw from you and I'm not gonna talk to you. And now that you've said you're gonna marry me, now I'm gonna
The
be all
sex
those
is
sorts of
back
things.
on
Yeah,
tap.
I think, and that might not be an intentional thing. She may have been dealing with her own stuff or whatever.
Well,
but
of course, yeah.
But it is. I think it's quite manipulative. No.
Look, there's. I don't know, man. It's like I've been in this mindset before, where it's like you just agree to the thing, and all of the problems will go away.
Yeah.
But like, this isn't what you wanted. I don't think. I seriously don't think.
I think everyone's done that. I think everyone's been like, you know what, I'll agree to this situation for right now. And actually, I know that later down the line, it is going to hurt me a lot more, but I want to keep this person around. I did that.
21,
I've done that really recently, actually. Like just sort of I've been like, I'm going to agree to this, and it's probably going to not work out in my favor, and it's going to hurt me a lot more. But I don't want that person in my life so much that I will have them in any capacity rather than nothing. And it is so much tougher in the long run. It is so horrible. But like, he's got to do it as well. I think he's got to figure that out for himself. There's only a certain amount of things that someone can tell you in these situations without you actually listening. But I think, especially because this is his first relationship, he needs to learn that. He needs to learn that sometimes you want someone in your life, but they don't want to be in your life in the same way that you want them in your life, and it's not compatible, and you just need to cut it off. Does that make sense?
I think you're pretty impressionable at like a young age as well. So it's a good thing that this dude asked the internet and you got like tough love from from people all around. Because I mean, I just don't think. I think you're too fucking stupid at 21 too. Like, you can't even think for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, one of the top comment here is, "Man, I'm only 23 and I already feel like I'm a different person than I was at 21." Like, that's such a good point. Like,
fuck, man, I feel like I've changed within the last like 6 months, and I have with let alone from when I was like 21. Fuck, when I was 21, I was a completely different person.
Oh, here you go. Here's a good comment that illustrates. This kind of. I'll read you this comment.
Okay.
So this person's quoting what you said. I deeply regret rejecting a proposal because in reality, this is what I wanted the whole time. I just needed a few weeks to seriously rethink about it. I'm glad my girlfriend has forgiven me for all this. And this person says, wait, what? Just because she acted hurt for 3 weeks, it doesn't mean that she was a victim. Marriage is a very serious proposition, and both your views matter. If you need to think about it and discuss it with before saying yes, then saying no at the time was absolutely 100% the right decision. She was completely entitled to her feelings about this, as it is a big blow to be told no. But the lesson from this experience is to communicate more about big decisions, not that you are automatically the bad guy when this happens. When things happen to make her sad.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the person below is like, red flags fucking everywhere, man.
Yeah, I do agree. That is what I said though, basically, isn't it? Where like she's suddenly
as well,
Yeah. I'm glad someone else picked up on that because I was unsure about what I was saying. But I'm glad someone else has agreed with me.
I'll read you out what it says. So red flags everywhere. Dude's about to marry someone old enough to I love when people say dude. Motherfucking dude. Dude's about to marry someone old enough to have been his high school teacher because she cried for 3 weeks when he said no. Age difference in its own is weird, but this is super manipulative.
Yeah.
This right here is why 17 is not the same as 23.
Yeah.
You just don't have a real sense of what you really want yet, and it's too easy to get guided into something serious. At that age, like, especially if I get the impression this guy's living with his girlfriend, so it's probably like such a big part of his life, and then all of a sudden it changes because he said no to her, and he's like, fucking hell, I just got to say yes because this is probably where it's going to go eventually. But like, man. What if you meet a lovely, you graduate uni, you get a nice job in an office, all of a sudden there's a sexy señorita in the office.
Oh, don't date someone you work with, God.
Oh my God, she's into all the things I'm into. She's into, I don't know,
God.
what is she into?
Don't date someone you work with. That's a terrible idea. Stop it, Gio.
Fast cars and
Gio, stop it.
I'll have you know that Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively met on the set of that shit film, and they're married. So,
Oh, come off it. That is not the
so
same in any way.
it's exactly the same. What are you talking about?
Everyone likes to think that they're Jim and Pam from The Office, and like, oh, this is gonna really no. Actually, dating someone that you work with is a really, really terrible idea. If you
Oh,
work
come
together,
off it.
if you work together and then like after, but I don't think I would ever be able to date someone that I worked with because I wouldn't be able to stand seeing someone every day in a work
Well,
context.
it was just an example. What if he goes to like spin classes and there's a sexy
Okay, perfect. Meet someone in a supermarket, make eyes at them across the
There you go.
supermarket.
Yeah. What if that happens? All of he's just proposed. He just said yes. He goes to the supermarket to pick up the wedding ring, and he sees the lady across the corner.
He's buying ingredients to make his lovely fiance dinner, and suddenly he sees a sexy senorita.
He goes to grab the lobsters, and someone else puts their hand over his hand as they both reach for the same lobster.
Yeah, there you go.
So beautiful.
This guy's young. He's got some mistakes that he's got to make in his first relationship, and he'll learn the hard way. Annoyingly, but sometimes, look, sometimes the hard way is the best way to learn.
Yeah, you're right.
I think I've learned.
You need to write yourself a letter, man. Like, goddamn.
Yeah. Write yourself a letter for future you. I've done that,
for
I've
real.
done that.
No, it's a good. It's a good way of thinking about things. Like, goddamn.
This is a secret. Literally, no one in the whole world knows about this about me, and I will announce it now on the podcast. But I always write a letter to myself on my birthday, and then read it a year later on my birthday again, and write another one.
A year later, I see.
And then write another one a year later on my birthday, so I can. That's what I mean. I did sort of mention this before about how I track what's happened to me in that year.
Yeah. On
my birthday, but no, I do it every year. I literally no one knows that, and I've never told anyone because I never want anyone else to be like, oh, can I read it? Even though I know they probably wouldn't. But
you store them all in one book so you can like read the whole timeline.
No, I delete them. I write them.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Why?
Maybe I should keep them. Maybe I should write them down physically.
Yeah, of course you should keep them. Why would you keep them just for a year?
Because sometimes it's stuff I don't want to remember.
Yeah, but in like 50 years, you'll want to remember it.
When I've got dementia, I can't remember anything.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, actually, yeah. This is kind of weird to talk about it, actually. But
okay.
So when I was 21 and I wrote something to when I was 22, and I was like, oh, I hope you're still like happy where you are in your job, and like you still have the same friends or whatever. And by that time, I'd quit my job and I'd left. So I was in a completely different place, and 21-year-old me could have never predicted that I would have gotten to a point in that job where I was so miserable that I wanted to quit, right?
Yeah, man.
So that's what I mean. In that year, so much had happened to me from 21 to 22 that you cannot predict how you're going to feel in a year. It's literally just impossible. So
not even
for this guy who's like, he hasn't even left uni, there's so much learning for him to do. And I do think when you start your first job, your second job, anything, you change a lot. And what I think you realise what you want in all aspects of your life, not just professionally, changes.
Don't marry this girl, Ange. We're going to fly to the wedding. We're going to stop. We're going to be those people when they say, does anyone object? We're like, peak millennial objects.
Oh my god, no. Seriously though, I've always wanted to crash a random person's wedding. I think that's on my bucket list.
You want to go like wedding crashes? Should we do that? We could do... Oh, that film has Isla Fisher in it.
Gio, no, I'm being serious. Should we actually do that one day?
We'll podcast it. No, we can't because then there'll be evidence. You want to crash?
Yeah, let's do it. I think that's a plan.
We could crash.
But I think, it'd probably be quite easy if you think about it. Yeah. Because, like, if I think about some of the weddings that I've gone to, especially recently, like my cousin's wedding, literally, all you need to do is just walk in. I'm pretty sure any random Asian person could have walked into my cousin's wedding, sat down at a table, and no one would have noticed because there was like 300 people.
Yeah, but dude, I'm such a fucking airhead that I'd end up like going right up to the bride, and she'd be like, "The fuck are you?" And I'm like,
Well, obviously you don't do that.
Come clean. Yeah, but I would. I just end up there. I'd talk to the groom because you can't tell who the groom is. He's in the same suit as everyone else is.
What if there is like somewhere there's like an Italian-Indian wedding and we could crash that? Then we both have an in.
But we'd end up becoming great friends with like family members, and they'd introduce us to each other partway through the wedding. They'd be like, "Oh, gee, have you met Ange?" I'd be like, "Hello, how's it going? Who the fuck are you?" You know what I mean? It would end up like that. We'd be like fucking at square one.
And then I'd just be like swirling like a glass of wine and be like, you know what? I've been listening to this podcast recently. It's called Peak Millennial. And then you'll be like, oh yeah, I've been listening to that as well.
That's a great podcast.
So, one funny thing that happened to me over the past week is you went out and you got very drunk and you texted me.
Oh no, I remember texting you. I text you. Oh, where the fuck's I didn't give him my phone. Where's my phone?
You said, this is at exactly midnight, I've got to say. You said, Ange, women. And I said, I am female woman, yes. And you said, they're so good. No, actually, correction said, Thaya, so good. And I said, is someone a bit drunk? And you said, it's true too. Podcast Joe. And then I said, what? And then you said, now, note. And I said, ha ha ha, okay, I will write it down. And you said, yay. That was it.
I can't find this in my text.
So do you want that to be our topic? It's just women. Women are great. So good.
Women.
I fucking love when people drunk text me. It's my favourite thing ever because I'm like, firstly, it's hilarious because they're nonsensical, the person on the other side of the phone. But also, I'm like, oh, you were thinking about texting me when you were drunk. It's quite nice.
I wasn't. I was thinking about the Peak Millennial podcast.
Oh, wow.
Obviously,
in your drunken state, you were like, we got to do the podcast. But when he said podcast now, I thought you meant let's podcast right now when you're absolutely hammered.
I probably would have.
That would have been so good. Gio, I really like how dedicated you are to the podcast, even when you're absolutely smashed. Your first thought is,
what my idea was.
Oh, podcast. Yeah, me too.
That's something I wanted to talk about, but I didn't. I didn't write it down or make a memo or anything. Man, maybe I need to get hammered again and remember what the fuck it was.
Yeah.
Next podcast, I'll just before we end it, I'll down some whiskey or something, and I'll see if it comes back to me.
PDA. What's your opinion on it?
PDA. You know what, man? I used to go to Italy a lot with my parents, and there's people just like in other countries, people just fucking like make out in the streets.
Oh my god!
Shit, like,
yeah.
They just tongue each other in the middle of the street. I'm like, all right.
That is so happening. True, actually, because when I went to Italy with my friend, I was noticing people like on the beach, like basically dry humping,
and I was like, oh my god.
I was like, all right, sure.
Yeah, it's a cultural norm. It's just that people can tongue each other in the middle of stairways and shit. I don't know.
Ugh. Yeah.
I'm quite a touchy guy, but I mean, I'm not like a make out in the middle of the street kind of guy. But I feel like I'm a physical person.
See, I'm gonna be a hypocrite here because I definitely have done PDA like multiple times in my life, especially if I'm drunk in a club. That's the
What do you mean have done PDA? When you say PDA, you're talking about like making out people, or
yeah.
But I'm talking about like just holding hands and shit and chilling.
Oh. Well, okay, this is a story. I really hope he does not listen to this. I doubt he will. But one of my exes, I remember one time, this is like my first adult relationship, and we were walking down the street, and he went to hold my hand, and I just snapped it away from him. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And he was like, I'm trying to hold your hand like a normal person. And I was like, do not touch me if we're in public. Like,
really?
Yeah. I was so averse to it. Like, I was like, don't even look at me.
Are you like that now?
No. In public now, I'm like the most like soppy person you'll ever see.
Right.
So like recently like my most recent ex, like we would hold hands all the fucking time and like, you know, like cuddle on the tube and stuff. You know, I was one of those people. I hate it. But this is the thing. I hate that. I really like affection at all times. I'm so needy. So like,
yeah, as long as you get someone else like that, you're fine.
But I also think that I am very affectionate, not even in just a relationship context. Like as a friend, I'm very, very affectionate, and I just like physical contact in general.
Yeah, sure.
So like, you know, I'm very happy to like hold friends, hold hands. No, I'm very happy to like hold hands with my friends or link arms with them as we're just like walking down the street together. Do you know what I mean? With just my friends. but other
Yes.
people think that is very weird.
Mm-hmm.
And it is, but I don't know. I like it. I'm just like a very touchy person, but a lot of people think that that's flirting. But I'm just
No,
an
I get that
affectionate
too.
person.
I am also.
You are as well. I think that's why we both became
I'm a grabber.
friends, because
Yeah.
we're both quite affectionate, but what the other person wasn't like freaked out by it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but because I've done that sometimes where I like touch a guy's arm and they're like, "Oh, she's flirting with me," and I'm like, "No,
Get freaked
I
out.
just do that. Sorry." Like they'll say something funny and I'll like touch their arm and laugh, and that is like, you know, in everyone else's mind that is a telltale sign of flirting. But that's just how I laugh.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Once, man, when I was younger, I got told off for like. I remember I had a lady at the time. We're in a swimming pool.
Mm.
And we were like making out, and the pool man told us off, and I was like, oh, this is the most shame I've ever felt in my entire life. It was suddenly like getting hit with a matureness bus, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing making out now?
Yeah, I'm really like I'm really tacky now. Like I made out with someone in a tube station a while ago, a couple times actually, because sometimes if you're saying bye to someone and they walk you to the tube station, that's your only option, right? Because you want to kiss them, but you can't, like, you know. So there's just like people but luckily it's London, so no one gives a fuck. You know what I mean? Like no one is looking at you.
People are too afraid to look you in the eye anyway.
Not even just that, people are so determined. Like that's happened to me where I've seen people kiss or whatever, and I'm like, get out of my way. I'm on my way. Like I'm so determined to get from A to B that I don't even care about my surroundings. Someone could be dying around me and I don't care. But like there's also there's the opposite of it where like sometimes I'm commuting in the morning. This I haven't seen it as much recently, but I did when I was commuting back in my old job. That like there'd be people on the tube next to me making out on like a crowded tube at 8:30 in the morning.
No.
Yes, I swear to God. Ask my mum as well, because she was with me. And I remember both of us, like one time, she caught my eye and I was like looking.
The girl making out?
Yeah, huh?
No, with the person making out.
No, my mum.
Oh, I see.
My mum. So she looked at me and I just looked, I must have looked like horrified at what was going on. I must have been like, you disgusting heathens. And my mum just couldn't stop laughing. Like, we just had this thing when we were commuting, like, I would make her laugh and she would make me laugh. And then we'd both just be like giggling at each other. But everyone else around us would think that we were laughing at them. But in this case, we actually were. And
couldn't make out in a crowded tube. It's already quite a disgusting place as it is.
Like. Exactly. And I'm like, there is no time for romance here.
Yeah.
But oh my God, it's like couples who commute together just fucking die. I'm sorry, but like just oh my God.
What's wrong with commuting together?
It's just gross.
Trying to spend some more time together. I mean, don't be making out on the train. Like,
yeah, that's what I mean though. Couples who commute together are never just like together and talking and having a conversation. They're always like
maybe they are. You just don't notice those ones because they're not like getting their tongues out.
Yeah. Okay. That's okay. That's what I mean by couples who commute together. Those kinds of couples who are too involved in each other's mouths. Too much. It's too much. I've only ever kissed someone in a tube station when I've had a couple drinks. If I've had at least one drink or more, I'll probably make out with you in a tube station.
What's your limit? Will you kiss in public sober? No tongue.
My rule is if I wouldn't do this in front of my parents, I won't do it in public. So like I'd peck someone. I'd peck someone in front of my parents, but I would not go any further than that.
No, I'll make a judgment call if there's no one around.
Yeah, but yeah.
They're cool.
Yeah,
we're all adults here.
I'm more of a hugger anyway, in public.
Sure.
I'm more like if we're waiting together, then I'll like hug you, and also because I'm small, it often means that we're not gonna kiss because I'll just be at your chest height.
Go for like the koala grip.
Yeah, you love a bit of PDA, don't you?
Me?
Yeah, I don't know.
Whoa, where's that come from? We're all having a nice conversation and we're all being buddies. You fucking love it, don't you, you slag?
I had to throw that in there just to like piss you off, just so we can get a little bit of drama for the podcast. No, I'm actually just kidding. But no, I think there's a limit to what is acceptable and what is disgusting. You know?
Sure. Yeah, I agree. But you know what? Good for those people. They don't give a fuck what other people think. They're gonna
Yeah,
get it,
but
dude. Oh my god! Here's a memory. I remember walking down Bournemouth once, down the green bit. Maybe you were there, or maybe it was other people. And there was this couple. This was like, it must have been a public holiday. There was families around. It was packed. You know, Bournemouth, when it's sunny, it gets absolutely packed. You know, main town centre. And there's like a little pathway, and you've got grass, like a bit of grass on the other side of you. There's this fucking couple just like dry humping and making out with each other, like as in, like, the only thing separating the penetration was a pair of jeans. If that was not there, this would have been like full front, like.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't with me. But
I swear to God, you think I'm exaggerating, but I 100% I'm not exaggerating. They were going at it.
oh, I don't doubt that. That's disgusting, though.
But it was just in public, and there were like kids around too, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna carry on walking the fuck out of here. They did not, but it was right by the path. It wasn't. They weren't heading out somewhere, as if that would have made it better. But they weren't trying to be sneaky about it. It was just like in the mid, like right. They might as well have been on them. You might as well have had to walk around them. I was like,
that's horrible. It's gross.
Who has that much of a non-radar? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's not giving a fuck, and then there's like,
yeah,
come on,
just
man.
too far. It's too much. Yeah.
Is this like am I being punked?
Yeah, but stuff like that, I'm just like, get a fucking grip. But
don't do that, kids. What are you doing?
Yeah. You know what? I will fully admit I was a fucking dick. Like, I was just a moron. I was like, not gonna sugarcoat it. I still am in a lot of respects, but through the beauty of therapy, I can now admit to myself and others that I am a romantic person.
Well, yeah, I think it's good that you can hold hands in public now, because you're missing out, and now you can enjoy that.
This was a podcast. We did another episode. We now actually pay for the hosting website, so you should actually really appreciate that we're doing this for you right now.
Yeah. That's an investment.
We've invested our own money to talk shit on the internet. Yeah, hold hands with the person you love. And if you don't have anyone to hold hands with, email peakmillennial@gmail.com.
Oh, you can hold our spiritual hands.
Or come meet me and I will hold your hand.
Oh.
That's a real offer, real genuine offer. If you want to hold my hand, you are more than welcome to at any time, whether it be platonically or romantically. Probably not romantically though, not gonna lie.
How will they know? How will they know who you are?
What do you mean?
I'm assuming what if there's one person who isn't one of our close friends, and they're just like completely new to everything?
Then they can definitely hold my hand. They're even more welcome to hold my hand.
Find her and hold her hand.
Yeah, you know what? I'm on all social media, so if you look hard enough, you will find me.
Thank you, Peak Millennial listeners. We love you.
Again, I will plug it again. If you have any questions, if you want anything answered, you want any topics that we'd like to discuss, email peakmill... I can't even say the fucking thing. Email peakmillennial@gmail.com. We will get back to you in a timely manner. Probably not. I don't know.
In 3 hours. Within 3 hours, we'll get back to you.
That is not a promise. That is not contracted, so we don't have to stick to it. Goodbye, Peak Millennial listeners.
Goodbye, friends.
Goodbye. We love you. Goodbye.
Arigato.